Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Hard Factor 92.3 Nigeria Info and Hearing Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. It's 9 minutes gone past 3 p.m. and it's great to be on the show today. As usual, as we keep the conversation going, ensuring the spotlight remains fixated on the very important things. And you're welcome. Thanks for joining the conversation. I hope you've had yourselves a fine day today and indeed a fine week as well. It's the Friday edition of Hard Facts. I like the Friday edition. Something about the Friday edition of the show. Maybe because it's Friday. And for me, officially kickstarts the weekend. And I was glad to be here. In spite of the myriad of, challenges we've got to deal with, vicissitudes of life, hitting us left, right, centre, everywhere we turn. But somehow, we just managed to keep on going. Anyways. Welcome once again. From now till about 7, conversation, as I think I mentioned earlier on, continues a few matters we're going to be addressing today. Let's see. So I've got side comments coming up in a moment, as usual, random stories, random thoughts that I came across, which, as usual, will not be discussed at this moment, but possibly during the open season segment, which comes up later on, after the major news at 6, we'll go over that. I'll get your take on some of those issues and other matters discussed on the show today till about 7 when we wrap it up. The sports gang will be in by 7 o'clock for extra time. Of course, as the build-up heightens for the Champions League game, the Champions League final taking place tomorrow between Manchester City and Manchester City and Chelsea. I believe that's tomorrow, right? Am I right? Yeah, tomorrow, 8 p.m. kickoff time. The game that, of course, Chelsea will lose, as Man City will beat Chelsea like small children tomorrow. All tomorrow, but the build-up begins today, or the build-up has begun already, but will heighten, I do perceive, today. So, join the sports gang by 7 p.m. later on tonight. So, discussions on the show today, as also has been the case for a few weeks now. The rant still remains suspended as we focus on the kidnapped Greenfield University students. So the latest update on that, we'll discuss it till about 4 o'clock. 4 p.m. features the business news, after which we delve into some other matter. Well, you may have heard about this, but the PFN, that's the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, wants a new constitution. Yep, that's what they want. And this was in our news earlier on. In the meantime, the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria PFN has called for a new constitution, saying it does not support the amendment of the 1999 constitution. National President of PFN, Wale Oke, was represented by Apostle Ziliagre. Now, here's what he had to say on the PFN's position regarding a new constitution, or regarding what I perceive its preference for a new constitution.
The national president said, we believe in one Nigeria. We believe in an indivisible one Nigeria. But if God, the all-wise one that is so wise, in Hebrew chapter 10, verse 9, says, he taketh away the first, that he will establish the second. If the all-wise God realizes that, let me take away my first covenant and bring a new one, Nigeria cannot be wiser than God. Therefore, it is on the onus and the mandate of the Ninth Synod to make sure that as change was promised to Nigerians in 2015, the actual change really promised is a change to a brand new constitution.
I believe this may have been a position presented by the PFN at the ongoing public hearing on the constitution review. But I will be discussing that in the 4 o'clock hour. I'll be having as my guest Reverend Unaibi Dagogo Jack, is president of PFN, River State Chapter. He'll join me for that conversation at the 4 o'clock hour. Why is the constitution better than a reviewed one? That and other related matters we'll be discussing. Taking us to 5, we got the news update at 5 p.m. After that, what's that matter again? Oh yeah, IGP says disbanding SARS has weakened police. Yep, that's what the the IGP, or is it the acting IGP these days? The acting IGP, Usman Alkali Baba, says disbanding SARS has weakened the police's effort at fighting insecurity. Now, speaking at the weekly ministerial briefing on Thursday in Abuja, the IGP said the morale of policemen has reduced due to the aftermath of the hashtag EndSARS protest and recent attacks in the southeast. Let's hear what the acting IGP had to say about this development.
With the proscription of SARS and the establishment of SWAT, which has not been able to take up fully, we had a vacuum in tackling most of the violent crimes from a position of strength in terms of having a strike force that is dedicated for that.
Okay, all right. So, do we bring back the SARS? Do we do that? Do we bring back the SARS? Do we have a create a hashtag bring back the SARS, or just simply bring back SARS, or reawaken SARS, or resurrect SARS? We'll look at that in the 5 o'clock hour after the news update once again. At 5:30 we got headlines, major news at 6 p.m. Open season after that till about 7, during which, like I mentioned, if you missed out on any of the issues discussed, I might take your thoughts at that time. Show comes to an end by 7. That's it for today. If there are any amendments in between, you will know. Simply stick around. So we keep the ball rolling now with today's side comments, random stories, a random thought that I came across as I checked out the news today, which, once again, a reminder, will not be discussed at this time. Well, the new Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahya, is expected to meet President Muhammadu Buhari as he assumes office today. Major Yahya was appointed yesterday by the President. Before his appointment, Major General Yahya was the General Officer commanding one division of the Nigerian Army and the incumbent theatre commander of the counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency military outfit in the northeast, codenamed Operation Hadin Kai. And your guess is as good as mine how that meeting will very likely go. I imagine that there will be some kind of briefing of the President as to what he knows, or his assessment of the job description. His Excellency would very likely give him matching orders. Give him matching orders to flush out the miscreants, to eliminate the Boko Haram terrorists, to basically everything all comes down to, can be summarized in matching orders. Not sure how effective matching orders have been really, but I expect the new Chief of Army Staff to get matching orders as well, whilst we keep our fingers crossed and keep praying to God. An unidentified young boy is lying unconscious at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital after he was hit by a car last week Friday. A report from UPTH said the boy, who may be about 10 to 13 years, is on admission in the children's surgical ward of the hospital. Our correspondent gathered the family that hit him has been paid for his treatment. The hospital is asking the parents or guardian of the boy to come to the hospital. So if you've been missing a young boy of about age 10 to 13 years, I know this is not the kind of news you want to hear, but you might want to go to UPTH to go check if that young boy is yours. And Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo on Thursday visited President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House in Abuja. He is the third visiting African president received by President Muhammadu Buhari this week. President of the Libyan Presidential Council, Mohamed Yunus Menfi, and that of the Central African Republic earlier in the week entered into bilateral talks with the president. Now, the question I want to ask is, when African leaders meet and they have this these bilateral talks. What exactly is the essence of these bilateral talks? Because you don't see the kind of progress and development that might be expected as a result of these bilateral talks. You don't see. I don't know. Nigeria is not. We're not a growing nation. At least we're not growing at the rate we should be growing. Most of Africa, if not all, at least most of Africa, is not growing at the rate it should be growing. There's starvation. That's not the entire story of Africa. I know it's not, but the figures still are not good. There are lots of good stories about Africa, but the figures are not good for Africa. Poverty, economic stagnation, famine, you name it, unemployment, everything, pestilence, death, it's incredible. So when these leaders, when they meet and have these bilateral discussions, what do they discuss exactly? What do they? Can someone give me an idea of what they discuss, please? If you have an idea, can you send me a message via WhatsApp on 0809 03064? What exactly do they discuss? What do they talk about? Because even if one is not there when they're having these discussions, there should be a physical translation or a physical effect or impact or result of these discussions and bilateral talks that they're holding. What is it doing for Africa? What really? So the Ghanaian president is here. I imagine they might talk about the travails of Nigerians in Ghana. They might talk about that, but really, is it going to change much? They talk about bilateral trade and this trade and increasing and improving trade. But what does it do really? What does that mean for Africans? I got a comment here via WhatsApp, said they discuss how to be on ground. Maybe, who knows? But what do they discuss? I really hope that when African leaders meet and have this conversation to the not too distant future, it will mean something positive for Africa, and we will start to witness the results of these bilateral discussions. Because when you hear the leaders of foreign nations or Western nations discuss matters, you see the transformation, you see the effect in economy and infrastructure development, you see the effect in trade and how it affects people and job creation. When the US and China are having an economic spat, you see the result. Everybody sees the effect and the impact of it. When the Brexit thing happened, as it was about to happen, we see the impact of it on Europe, on the UK, and all of that. So when world leaders when the G7, when they meet and they have these discussions, you see the impact of that. Positively or negatively, the impact is clear, and they're churning out policies. They don't just meet and say, Macron of France will not meet the American president, for example, Biden, and then they just come out to say, and then they shake hands and say, see, bilateral talks, and see, both countries have realized that we are brothers, and we are fashioning out ways of improving trade, and you see my brother here, the president of Ghana, my brother here, the president of Kenya. You can see his head, how big his head is. I was abusing him last night when we were having state dinner. Look at his head. Your head is not big again. So we are all brothers. We are brothers, and we realize that there are similarities. We share a lot of, our two countries share a lot of common ground, and we are fashioning out ways that we can all benefit from this common ground. You see, and we'll be telling you more. We'll be telling you more as the days go by, and that's it. And that is it. You hear nothing else afterwards. There's no policy documents. There's nothing. There is no strategy that's been made known to people as to what Kenya is doing, what this is doing, what Nigeria is doing, what Ghana is doing. There's not nada. Okay, I have a few suggestions here via WhatsApp. They discuss about fuel price increase. They always talk about Chelsea versus Man City. Hello, Dad. For me, I think they discuss how to keep Africans perpetual poverty and slavery. That's from Victor. Good afternoon, Dad. They talk about how to tighten loose ends. That's from Queen. That's an interesting one. They just change environment. Oh my, I'm sorry. They just change environment to breathe fresh air. Okay, I'm very sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to laugh this hard. They just change environment to breathe fresh air and return to their base to continue facing their mess. Basically, what? Basically, they mean to just have a fresh breath. All right. They discuss how to commission project and ask our mothers to shake waste in a civilized way. Now they discuss mutual relationship. Vincent says they meet to discuss how they can all move back. Okay. All right. They meet to discuss how they can all move bilaterally from poverty to hardship. All right. They discuss how to perpetually remain in office or replace themselves with their children or boys. They usually meet to shake hands and laugh, smile like smile like brand ambassadors. That's from Ima. Good afternoon. When leaders meet, they've been in power for 30 years and hand over to their wives and sons. They're discussing whose coconut. They're discussing whose coconut rice is sweeter. All right. African leaders meet to share ideas on how to remain in power for life or up to 30 years. That's from Collins Kalu. It as much as I agree with you, bilateral talks happen and the parties involved most times go back to alter their own laws to accommodate their resolution. So that's why I think it takes a little time to effect those changes that will have direct impact on the people. That's my pastor grade. All right. They discuss which kilishi is the sweetest. All right. They discuss how to view each other's state houses. Okay, I have to move on. Really, I seriously have to. I desperately have to. Austin says they meet to discuss how to wear your jeans. All right. All right. They meet to rob minds. Where's that one? Just a moment. They meet to rob minds on how each one handles their subjects. Oh, okay. All right. They only come to be sure if the president is the president or another person is representing us and Sonny George. Yeah, I know. The pastor, great fellow who sent that comment. I know, these bilateral talks take a while, but African leaders have been meeting and having bilateral talks for how long now? When are Africans going to start to feel the impact of that? When? When are Africans going to start to feel the impact of these bilateral talks? When? Seriously, at what time? It's about time Africans start to feel the impact. It's about time. Africans have been going through so much for so long. I mean, who was it that did that song? Was it Bob Marley? Africa Unite, and several other people have done songs and waxed lyrical about the need for Africa to unite and the potentials that we have. Yeah, Bob Marley did a song called Africa Unite decades ago, I imagine. Is Africa united? Is Africa strong? Is Africa growing? Is Africa developed? Even developing, let alone developed? Anyways, another bilateral meeting is possibly ongoing or will ongo again sometime soon. All right. Anyways, I have to wrap up the side comments shortly, I believe, but not before this one. Yeah. A quick reminder to the police commissioner, CP, Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, versatile CP, Abductor Friday. your CPNS, the good people of River State, still awaiting the results of your investigation on the crackheads. The crackheads that what's it called? That robbed, supposedly, allegedly, reportedly, a Uniport undergraduate of 150,000 naira. Last we heard you were waiting for a bank statement. We're still wondering if you've got the bank statement and what the conclusion of your investigation is. And also reports have it that a different unit of crackheads allegedly stole 200,000 naira from some other person recently. Have you investigated that also? If it's taking so long for us to get the bank statement of this one, how long will it take to get the bank statement of this other one? It's alarming. And once again, the good people of River State would like to know that you are indeed doing your job, and so that they can repose once again their confidence in the Nigeria Police Force River State Command. Also, Your Excellency, in my capacity as the self-appointed Senior Special Advisor on reminding His Excellency of critical matters, Your Excellency, sir, education needs attending to. And I know it's been said nobody can do everything. Your Excellency, I don't think anybody expects you to do everything. But every government that comes in power must prioritize education. It's not something you leave. We know government is a continuum, but education is not something you leave for the incoming administration or for the next government. No. Education must always be on the front burner because it is literally our future. Flyovers may take us from GRA Junction to Waterlines a minute or two, maybe even 5 minutes faster. Education will take us to a future where we may need to demolish that flyover. Education is the best legacy. Education is everything. We need 10,000 teachers at least in River State based on a needs assessment conducted by your government in your first term in office, and 4,000 non-teaching staff. Where are these teachers, Your Excellency? What it means is that in some schools in River State, there are no teachers. That's what it means. Nobody is teaching or learning anything. All those children also on major roads, on Ada George and Alba roads, forcefully cleaning windshields. What's going to happen to them? What's their future? Are they the future boys? Are they the future cultists? Are they the future ballot box snatchers? What are we creating today? The choices we make today will live with us even tomorrow. Alright, that's it for side comments. I go on a break. When I return, the discussions continue. Update on the situation with the Greenfield University students. Please stay with us.
Keeping up with political issues and developments around you, only on Nigeria Info.
Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers.
Info.
Are you running late and can't make it down to our Rumorsi office to book your commercials? Don't worry, because you can take advantage of our marketing office inside Port Harcourt to book your commercials. It is located at Shop 9 Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS Stadium Road, Port Harcourt. You can also call our sales rep on 0817 001 8162. That's 0817 001 8162.
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dio.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned. Still Hard Fact to 91.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. Let's see, 27 to go before 4 o'clock. Conversation continues. Thanks for staying tuned. And a reminder that the rant remains suspended. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Until the Greenfield University students are released and reunited with their family, friends, and loved ones. And in case you don't know, for some strange reason, you have no idea what I'm talking about. That's the Greenfield University students' situation. Well, the Greenfield University kidnapping took place on 20 April 2021 when at least 23 students and staff were kidnapped in Kasurami village, Chikun LGA, Kaduna State, Nigeria, during an attack by suspected armed bandits at Greenfield University. So 20 April, 20 May, made it 30 days. So this is 28, it's about 38 days now. Now, at that time, it was Nigeria's forced kidnapping from an academic institution in 2021 and the 15th December 2020, coming 5 weeks and 6 days after the FACA kidnapping in which 39 students were abducted. Now, the attack occurred at 8:15 p.m. local time on 20 April 2021 at Greenfield University. Police authorities confirmed the abduction and said that the suspected armed bandits infiltrated the institution in large numbers and abducted the students while killing one member of staff. The kidnappers demanded 800 million naira ransom. On April 23, the kidnappers killed 3 students in their captivity. The bodies of the dead students were found in Kwanan Bature village, a location close to the university. And on April 26, 2 more kidnapped students of the university were killed. 1st of May 2021, one of the abducted students was released by the bandits. The release was said to have been made after his parents paid an undisclosed ransom. So at the moment, we have got 16 students still with the kidnappers, and for weeks now, there's been no word from government, either the federal government or state government, or any state actor or agent as to the status or situation with the students. And we will not forget them. We will not move on, you know. And if you do not consider this boring, and you don't think Amechi versus Wike is a more exciting topic of discussion, I'd like to get your take on this matter. Line 0 open 0817 93 0002, 0817 93 0003, and 0817 93 0007. WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. We are live on Twitter at Nigerian for PH, Facebook.com/Nigerian for PH, and you can watch us live on YouTube as well. Just search for Nigeria Info PH. And I know it might sound monotonous. I've been going, this should be the 3rd week, or at least, that I've been going on about this now. You're wondering, oh, when's he going to bring back the rant? We missed the rant. I missed the rant. I wish I could do a rant today. There's so many things to do a rant about, really. But we can't forget them, because it's not just about them. This is reflective of our society, of our government, and the choices that we as citizens make as well. We can't forget them. We can't move on to something more exciting, like Wiki and Amici. I got Franklin from GR on the line. Franklin, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Hello, Dayo. How is everything?
As good as can be, I suppose. You're welcome. Go on.
Okay, Dayo, the issue of kidnap in the country, I don't know, at this point is becoming unheard of. And I think the only thing that is facilitating this whole thing, from my own point of view, is the fact that a number of vehicles in this part of the country, they have tinted glasses. And when they carry people in these tinted glasses, even if they are taking them from here to where I don't know, you wouldn't even know. Nobody would see what is going on inside that very bus. I would highly recommend that government should look into this aspect of tinted glasses.
You think tinted glass is the problem? Seriously?
Sorry?
You think tinted glass is the problem?
Yes. If they stop the use of tinted glasses in vehicles,
the Greenfield, Franklin, if you can hear me, just a moment, calm down. The students of Greenfield University who were they kidnapped in tinted glass vehicles?
I strongly believe that the bus or whatever vehicle that was used to move a number of students of that magnitude was
they are FACA students as well. They were put in tinted glass vehicles.
It's very, very possible.
Okay, the Kankara boys also were put in tinted glass vehicles.
Yeah, because if they are moved in a transparent car,
the Chibok girls were put in tinted glass vehicles.
Dayo, I am telling you from what I feel and what is going on currently in this town.
Yeah.
They move people in tinted glasses, and nobody says anything.
Okay. All
because
right.
you don't see what's happening inside.
Okay. All right, Franklin, good to hear from you. Franklin believes the problem is tinted glass. I find that quite remarkable, really. Not to say that it might not pose some security concern, but to attribute the kidnappings of people in the country to the tinted glass phenomena, I think is maybe a bit overreaching. King from GRA, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Daniel, good afternoon.
Hi, go on.
So I'd like to suggest that you dedicate some minutes, maybe 10 minutes or thereabouts. Usually you come on around 3:15. So you can dedicate 10 minutes to maybe 3:25, at most 3:30, and then to the Kankara situation. Then you take some side comments alongside. Then let's have the rant, please. Seriously. I mean, it's because of your rant that when I'm out and about, I always have my earpiece in my car.
Yeah.
So I think when I'm stepping out of the car and it's time for your rant, I'll take my earpiece and put it on my ear, and I want to listen to your rant. I mean, and I'm sure there are so many persons in that category. We look forward to your rant. There's a way you do this rant that 5-6 minutes, it's just captivating. And we've been without a rant for 3 whole weeks. That's a lot, Dio. I mean, that's a lot. So you can find a way to have both a rant and still talk about the Kankara situation within the 3 to 4 o'clock hour. We can do that. It's achievable there.
King, you're right, actually. You're very right. It's very much doable. I can do it. But you know what, King? I will not do it.
You will not do it?
No, I won't, actually.
Why not,
because it's a sacrifice that I want to make, a sacrifice that I think we should all make. Because right now we're having this conversation. If I did just 10 minutes, like you're saying, you and I won't be having this conversation right now. But you see, the kidnapping of the Greenfield student has distorted your life in some way, not a big way. I'm not trying to overthink the rant. But it's affected you some way. It's also affected me somewhere as well, because I also missed the rant, by the way. So we're all affected by it.
Okay, but if you look at this is actually this matter is tackled from the center, from Abuja.
Okay.
So you're withholding the rant now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it do anything to the center in Abuja, because they are the ones that should take care of this?
No, because we're all connected. We're all involved in this. The choices that we all made it has contributed in some way or another. Not just this. And by the way, I think I need to explain something. Even though the Greenfield scenario is what led to this, I'm not saying that if students are kidnapped tomorrow, every time students are kidnapped or anyone is kidnapped, the rant will stop. No, this is simply what's the word I'm looking for right now? This is simply I'm just taking this moment to draw all of our attention to something very important, because I believe strongly that the people are also responsible for the quality of government that they get.
It's okay, I understand. I mean,
symbolic. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Symbolic.
You can direct the energy towards Abuja, towards Nigerian government, because this is us in River State. I don't know.
But when the Abuja politicians come to River State, come 2023, all of us will start dancing again and wearing t-shirts and face cap. We'll start dancing again and wearing t-shirts and face cap and collecting oil and rice. Daniel from Roma, say hi. Go ahead.
Yes, Daniel, good evening.
You're welcome.
Daniel, it's a pity. Every 4 o'clock before this time, I long to hear hard facts. But for some time now, when I remember hard facts, my heart pumps. It is a pity. Daniel, I support you in total. No hard facts, no ranting. You can imagine if every radio station in Nigeria would bring out 10 minutes to talk about these children. I wonder, where is the student union government in Nigeria? Where is the PTA, Parents Teachers Association in Nigeria? If every university would say, look, I can't be here and be studying while my colleagues are there in the forest. If every student will say, I don't know the fate of my fellow students in the forest, let's shut down the institution. I am sure federal government will wake up to the plight of these children. One thing we do in this country, once it doesn't involve us, let's move ahead. After some time, they will forget it. We should know that injury on one is injury on all. Dayo, I support you 100%. No ranting until these children are released. Thank you, and God bless Nigerian Info. They are doing marvelously well. My name is Dr.
Dana, great to have me. But what I was going to say earlier on to the previous caller, the one before the last, the word I was looking for is symbolic. That's the word. Now, this is symbolic. And I'd like to reiterate, I'm not suggesting or implying that every time anyone is kidnapped or students are kidnapped and it makes it onto the news that I'm going to suspend the rant. I will not do that, actually. But I'm quite certain that we all will not forget this in a hurry. Because once again, and I do somewhat feel bad that, you missed the rant. Not that I think, it has that great of an impact on you. I'm not overrating the rant in any way. But I do miss it myself. I wish I could do a rant every day. I wish I could have done a rant today. But I think that, once again, we're all, in some way, responsible for everything. And yes, you could argue, like the caller did, that, it's the Abuja people who are not concentrated. The Abuja people will come. They are already coming. By 2023, they are going to relocate here again and start buying bole and fish. Start buying ugu in the market and start carrying naked babies. And taking keke. Some of them will be frying akara along the road, telling you how much they love the people, how they have been called again. So we're all involved, we're all connected, we're all responsible. Vincent from Alakar, you're welcome. Go on.
Mr. Dayo, good afternoon.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, I want to carry on from where one of your callers stopped. With respect to the consciousness of the Nigerian student, the average Nigerian student, to the plight of their fellow students who are somewhere, possibly in the forest, in the open, in the forest, day and night, under the rain, under the sun, under the cold weather, under the hot weather, as we speak. Now, do you know that I have somebody who is serving in Plateau job, and I asked him about what, the feeling about this security, and then I mentioned this issue that there are some people that were kidnapped, and around Kaduna, the Greenfield student. Do you know that the person is not even aware completely that such happens? And this is somebody that we are chatting on social media. Every now and then, his presence is on social media. And it's not just that person. Just come to Greenfield and ask our students about their fellow students that have been kidnapped. What we are going to hear will strike you off balance. The level of unconsciousness, when something does not affect us directly, in this part of the world is simply alarming. Just as the caller said, assuming just only a week. Now, let me just give you an example of what happened in University here some time ago.
All right.
Now, we were suffering from light and water. Now, we now decided that, okay, we have to go on strike. Now, the students decided to go on strike. Now, if you come to the street and start parading, nobody listens to you. So what we did was that we stopped attending classes just for 3 days. And then let the lecturers go to the classroom to teach. Now, we are not blocking any road and preventing any person from moving. Now, this time, the students who think that it's only books that they created for books they are not even reading, they create them to come and read the uniform. We flog them out of the classroom. Do you know that within hours, life was restored in uniform? When I was an undergraduate, this is what I'm telling you. So what am I trying to say? In line with that scholar, if the students of this country decide to take it upon themselves, if something is not done about our fellow students that have been in the forest for how many months now, we are not going to the classroom. And I think that the government of the day, both in Kaduna and in Nigeria at large, they will stand up.
Vincent, good to hear from you. Thanks for your contribution, but I must move on. Andy from Eliezer, hi, go ahead.
Dayo, good evening and happy weekend.
Happy weekend.
Dayo, sometimes I begin to imagine if our geographical locations still exist. How do I mean by that? Last time I checked, our geographical location or region is different from that of the north. That this area has forest, has bushes, has uncleared areas that even if one hides inside, you may not know. If activities that are wrong in our forest, people might not know. But when it comes to the north is a desert. There are no trees. If there should be, it can be spotted. So what is the measure to be taken in order for the military or the federal government to send arsenals that can be able to locate where these persons are and to rescue those boys, those children? But the country we are in, the federal government and the state government, they have failed because their children are not there. It is obvious that we, as the masses, should do something that will help us protect ourselves. But if it is the government has failed. I'll keep saying it. Please let the parents of these children try as much as possible the little that they can do. Somebody brought up an idea the other day, just like what the last caller is saying. We are not united. The masses are not united at all. Institutions are not united at all. These are some of the things that NGOs, these are some of the things that activists should have come up. Instead of coming up in things like this, you are telling us to come for conference that at the end of the day do not pay anything. Let God continue to help us, and let the parents of these children try as much as what they can do to rescue their children. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Prince from Artillery, good afternoon, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dayo. Let me contribute on this. You know, there is something we call civil disobedience. If we love our children, there is a way we pressure this government. They will abandon everything and release our children. It's only that when it happens, people will thank God though. Uchechuku, where are you? Are you people at home? Yes, mommy. Thank God.
Exactly.
Thank God, my children, all of them are. There is what we call civil disobedience. We can do it. Media can do it. Churches can do it. They can shut school. Other students can shut down everything until you people release our fellow students. You will not learn anything. A lecturer, but everything in this country, I don't know. You're on your own. You're on your own. Civil disobedience is good, some of the things, because this is our government. We need to put, you want to tell me if the governor's side are among those, you want to tell me that the governor will still be going for work.
Yeah, commissioning, it might even be commissioning, it might be. Prince, can you hear me? The governor might even be commissioning projects in Kaduna State.
Okay. Will you tell me that they will be going around doing singing or wiggling in campaign gun, appointing the campaign from here and there? No, now, because it's the commoner, the king. But to me, only God will see us through. Let some people, thank you for what you have established on this radio station. No run until they release those and support you. If other people shoot every day, even if they 2 minutes a campaign, will do it and call. You will get please, children. I am good in disturbing. I will must disturb them. Call their names. Give us all the names of the governors and in that state. We will start calling them on their phone. They will release them.
All right, Prince, great to hear from you also. Enes from Lumeme, hi, go ahead.
Hello, Dayo.
Hello.
Good day, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
How are you doing today?
As good as possible, I suppose.
I would like to approach this situation in the country from the sociological perspective. If you look at the structural functioning perspective in the sociological discipline, we understand that the society is a system that has interrelated bodies that work together for the betterment of all. And we looked at the family as the basic unit of the society, and you also look at the government as one of the factors. Look at judiciary and some other factors that work together for the smooth functioning of the society. If you come back to the family, which is the basic unit of every human society, look at how about norms, how about value. We look at our family today, you can see that the value in which our parents are training our children is less than what it ought to be. If we look at the norms of the society, we can see that the Nigeria as a society is a particular society that is living or existing without strong value and norms. So if you look at the children who are in school, today I've looked in recent times, I've just looked at the students and that they've placed the basic parts of the children in terms of training to the schools. And these children, all what we care for our parents, most of our parents, all what they care for today is that sends that our child to school. And they are not doing their part as a parent. And they think that the school, which is another institution, can do what the parents ought to do. And that is affecting our young people. And we often say that the youth or the children are leaders of tomorrow. And these are left without the proper value and norms that will make them profitable and productive tomorrow in the society.
Yeah.
If we look at the judiciary, they failed. If we look at the government, they failed in their own responsibility. And family is also failing. Then what kind of society are we? Are we thinking we are having a living society? Are other different parts, are they functioning together? I think there is a dysfunction. I think that Nigeria, as others have said, Nigeria is a failed society because the family, they failed, the government failed, healthcare system, military, and all that other factors that keep the society going, they all failed. So we need a different time. We need a time to let the family, which is the basic unit, realize their mistakes, come together and say, what are we missing? What is not there? How are we training our children? If you look at, other day I've been in one of the hotels in recent time, you see when 14, 13 years children are smoking, you'll be surprised. This is where children, they say that was the end of school in that day, and I was privileged to be in that hotel. You see 13-year children are smoking, girls and boys. Children that are minor, that are not up to 18 years, and they are smoking, and we say we are children. Where is our children? Where is our family? And we are having churches, and churches, which is the religious aspect, they've also failed. Dayo, we have a problem in this society.
Absolutely,
I think God will only help us.
Well, okay. And that's great to hear from you. I almost said it, but I said I'm not going to give my usual response again to when people say God will help us. But if you've been listening long enough, you know what my usual response will have been in the past. But if that helps us to cope these days, please, by all means, may God help us. Via Twitter at @02802 tweets. I know as a nation we are swamped with so much bad news that we can't even keep up. But I want to remind us that the Greenfield University students are still in captivity. Both the federal and state governments are doing little or nothing to release them. It's been over a month. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's not forget them. Via WhatsApp, I expect by now the parents, well, many Nigerians and civil society groups should be occupying NAS to drive home their demands for the release of their wards. For all I can see, the state, Kaduna and federal government appears to have moved on with a seemingly loud silence on this issue, building from Ilele said that. I missed it right, but unfortunately our leaders appear not to be showing genuine concern on the abduction of the Greenfield University students. They are busy running from one zone to another in the name of constitution review. Shame, AJ Elijah said that. Good afternoon. Why do we Nigerians act irresponsible to one another? Until we get directly affected, Greenfield kidnapped students and many others killing is becoming normalized, and that's scary. I support the protest. #no hard facts. It's no rant actually. Hard facts is still on, and that's another problem. We're normalizing this. When we're getting to a point where we no longer cringe at the thought of students or children or anybody being kidnapped or even killed, and we can't afford to normalize it. Dio, I support your stand on this issue of the Greenfield students. Even if you are a lone voice, it's high time the so-called leaders know that they can't continue to take us for a ride. When it's my responsibility, I do mine. When it's leadership, At any level, they sweep it under the carpet and we move on. It's quite unfortunate. Dan Hope from Transamadi said that. I have to wrap up this segment right now. Thanks for being a part of the conversation. We got the news business coming up to put it out 4 p.m. When I return, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria is saying that regardless of what might be going on, they prefer, have made calls for a new constitution. Reverend Minabi Dekago Jack, President PFN River State Chapter, joins me for that conversation. Please stay with us.